I'll be right back. Oh, hold on. Hang on.
Iris was in the Somnium earlier.
Okay, now I'll be right back. And we're back. So,
Yes, we saw.
I was still escaped in the Somnium, but we didn't really learn anything. Other than supposedly So chase her down and kill her.
An unidentified figure tried to stab Iris to death. And Date and Aiba...
Who is that figure?
Probably So himself.
True, he could imagine himself in his Somnium that way. Mr. Date's ego algorithm processed the figure into that particular image.
What are you people talking about? If you're quite done here, hurry up and release me.
Why did you call Shoko?
Come to think of it, I still haven't heard your explanation for this. 2 days ago, you called Shoko Nadami just after 9 p.m. Why?
That is a private matter that I will not discuss with you.
What is your alibi for Shoko's murder?
What were you doing at 5 p.m. 2 days ago?
Reading a book at home. You can ask my housekeeper or my bodyguards. They will confirm that for you.
That does match what the bodyguard said earlier.
But they're like family to him. They're not above telling a lie to protect their boss.
I've been telling you I don't know anything.
You seem to not.
That's
believe
impossible.
true.
I saw Iris in your dream. You have to have some memory of her.
What are you talking about? I don't understand a word of this. I didn't.
Are you planning on acting dumb all night? How did you know Iris was stabbed?
I heard it.
What?
On my way to this place, I heard that woman over there talking. Something about a girl who got stabbed in the back.
Are you talking about me?
Yes, you.
I don't remember exactly what I said. It's possible that I mentioned a body with stab wounds to the back.
Boss.
It is impossible to determine now.
God's sake, boss.
He very well may not have seen Iris's body.
No. He still must have. He was in the warehouse.
But does that mean we can conclude for certain that he saw the corpse?
User. Out of a mysterious figure.
The subject of the sink remembers certain persons or objects that appear in Somnium. But they might not have a clear form. Our dreams are sometimes vague or unclear, after all.
If the object of his Somnium was Iris's attempted escape,
Even the subject of the dream themselves.
was she trying to escape from the warehouse? Or was that just simply because he knows that's where she died?
I told you earlier that the sinker experiences the dream from the perspective of an observer. That is why the person creating the dream can appear within it. But perhaps they do not have an objective view of themselves. Like a mirror or picture. Perhaps he's never watched himself on television.
We know that's not true from Mizuki. Mizuki saw herself. I don't know if in Iris saw herself. I think she might have done. No, actually, I don't think she did. Ota definitely saw himself though. But that was an inflated ego picture of himself. So I guess what he's saying is that by this part, he doesn't have a clear image of who he is.
Rare for a politician, but not unheard of. He lacks that objective picture of himself. He remains stoic and unattached despite his position of power. I find that quite powerful. To be able to put your ego aside and see yourself as God sees you is an ability many charismatic people share. He may not have a rational, objective assessment of himself. So, even if this figure is ambiguous,
It could be so.
indeed.
Ego algorithm.
Imagine the human brain as being made up of two elements.
Okay.
Memory and algorithmic structure. The former is preferable because the latter can be problematic. It can output things based on the inputs it is given.
Uh-huh.
To make this easier to understand, compare this to a computer. Memory is like your data stored on a hard disk. The algorithm is the program. This program controls everything, from higher cognitive functions to primitive instinct.
Peter is an extremely good psychologist.
This
Gotta say.
program is what creates the phenomenon of consciousness. In short, it is your ego algorithm, what you call your mind. Recognition, cognition, consciousness. All of these processes are incomprehensible without the ego algorithm. However, the Wadjet system is revolutionizing the way we think about consciousness.
Good
The
to know.
Wadjet system controls my core programming.
Using Wadjet, we could map the neural circuitry of the human brain.
Mhm.
And we discovered a specific circuit that is key to the phenomenon of consciousness. However, we human beings are still unable to fully grasp it.
God damn it. Peter, just get better. Be good at your job. Honestly, you're supposed to be a genius.
It's far too complicated.
I know, it sounds like an excuse.
But even if we don't understand it, we can still use it. You don't have to understand electromagnetism to use a microwave oven.
No, but I do. Idiot.
The Wadjet system is how we are able to extract the sinker's consciousness. That is what makes sinking possible.
Hold on, but no, someone has to understand electromagnetism to make the microwave oven. So you need to understand the Wadjet system and ego algorithm and stuff, whatnot, to make your sync machine. So tell me, science man, make the science happen.
During a sink, the sinker's consciousness, or ego, is brought into the subject's somnium. They enter the subconscious mind, or more accurately, sink into it. At this time, the sinker's memories are left in their original body. Picture an egg. The ego is the egg yolk that goes into the subject's brain. The sinker's memories are the whites, which remain in the shell. The sinker, or rather the sinker as their pure ego, experiences the subject's somnium. But to be precise, it is not only ego. When synced, a modicum of memory data does get sent into the subject's brain. Imagine separating an egg yolk from its whites. No matter how you try, some of the egg whites will always stick to the yolk. This is just like that.
Thank you, Peter, for that science. Let's look at random stupid computers, because that'll hurt my brain. I need to meet Reika. There needs to be a hidden thing where if I have every conversation it leads to Reika.
I want to beat So over the head with that thing.
I see. Apparently you need your dosage increased.
Dosage?
Oh, God. Chair. Chair's always a good one. Awesome. This game and its chairs. Right. Boss. Out of Somnium. Tell me what you
I
think.
saw it on the monitor.
And?
Iba saving Iris as she was being stabbed. Of course, since you and Iba are one and the same, it's like you saved her, Date. But that was just a dream. It's not real.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me, you muppet.
Saving her in Somnium won't save her now. I'm sorry.
Date, the investigation team is calling.
This is Date from Abyss. What happened?
Hey, sorry to call you out of the blue. There's something we want to check. Is now a good time?
Sure, what is it?
You said you found a body at Okiura Fishery Cold Storage Warehouse. The one at Ariake? Warehouse District?
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
Why? What happened?
It's, not here.
What's not there?
Are we playing past the body?
We searched all over the warehouse. We didn't find any bodies.
Are you goddamn kidding me? Aren't you
What do
still
you mean
alive?
there's no body?
Yeah, we looked everywhere, but nothing.
Date, I am not doubting you. However, are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure. I saw it. I know I saw it. I saw Iris's body with my own right eye.
Then perhaps someone moved the body between the time we left and CSI arrived.
No, there's another possibility.
There is?
There is. That she's at home.
Date?
Iris!
What are you doing? Barging in without ringing the doorbell?
What the? What the hell?
You see, Mizuki ended up staying at my place. Something wrong?
The world changed.
We need to talk. Ah. we've been assessing this. That something that we do in Somnium. No, let's be right about this. There are two major theories that I've kind of had in this time, right? The first and most logical one was that this was us going in as normal, how it's being presented in most of these cases, where we do the Somnium, and something we do within the Somnium changes the outcome for whatever reason. But I had a real tough time in Iris's Somnium age and age ago. There were two options. We hit the TV, and then we kind of have to find a way to kill the get to the TVs or something. Or we do the other one where we cause a chain reaction and somebody, like, people die, right? And basically reenacting the previous murders. This is the difference between going down the Annihilation route and the Ota and Mizuki route. Now, I've always sat there and wondered, what changed? Because in the Annihilation route, Iris gets sawed in half, and Ota gets stabbed to death. But within this, we suddenly have a new possibility. Because I was thinking about it, and I have been thinking about it. It's always confused me, and I've barely touched on it. On one aspect, we have Ota, and Mizuki, and that route. And by reliving that and making the choice that we did by hitting the TV, we didn't make Iris relive it. We're not searching for the truth of the murders. We're not trying to find the past. And therefore, that somehow, by some reason, made it so that Ota was able to get there in time. He, in this scenario, instead of whacking us with a taser and turning Iva off in Mamas, he did it with a wok in his mum's restaurant, I believe. So, what changed? What was it that split this path off? I don't know. But what if it's not what we did that changed? Or what happened in the outside world? So I don't see how that would have affected the outside world in any major way. How it would have affected Iris, because we were in her head. But what if instead it's affected us, Date. Instead of us focusing on instead of us focusing on the investigation of the past, we were rejecting the future and the people in the future, allowing Ota and Iris to die. I can't remember what happened to Mizuki in that timeline. But by focusing on Iris and what made Iris happy in that, we then were able to not let Iris die, but then we're able to go on to save Osa and go down Ota's timeline and Mizuki's timeline. Compare that to what we've just seen. Although we didn't get a choice, we were able to save Iris by actively stopping the killer in that timeline. Unless that never was Iris. I'm blowing my brain. Either way, there's two things I can get out of this. Either this entire thing is Darte's Somnium. This is Darte's mind. And this entire time, Iba, who's in our head, is actually the person syncing with us. Why is it that we are the only person with an AI ball? Maybe this is our sync, in a way. But then it wouldn't make sense that we had a sync within a sync. Except, Iba wasn't in our sync in the Mizuki route. Mizuki was in our sync. So maybe that has a tie-in there. The other possibility I'm now thinking, if we have either a timeline where this is all in our mind, it's basically down to what Darte does in his mind that creates these timelines, and these are not really real, these are down in a weird world. The other thing is that Iris isn't dead. As obviously we've just seen it. But that was a... We couldn't do a thermograph and couldn't do an x-ray because because Iva was dead. Maybe the whole reason that Iva had to shut down there, game-wise, is so that we couldn't figure out that that was a body model. You know, let's say that's either not Iris herself, and because we've seen it in her Somnium, that's what we think. Maybe it's a thing, but then that question says, why was that exact image in Mizuki's mind? And that's Mizuki saw it. Maybe it's something that Renju made, and Renju is the other killer. But then why would Mizuki know about that? These are just theories I'm spitballing, but it's what I've got so far.
Iba and I saved Iris during the sync yesterday. She wasn't killed.
True, but that was only a dream.
Maybe the dream changed reality.
Impossible.
Then how else would you explain it? Iris came back to life.
Stranger things have been known to happen. 2 days ago, Date found Iris's frozen corpse in Mizuki's Somnium. It must have been a prophecy.
Boss.
There's a lot of stuff in this world that can't be explained by science.
She believed what she wanted to. Hold on. I can't question myself. Okay. A dream changing reality.
Date and Iba saved Iris in Somnium.
So maybe this
And
is the
that
Iris timeline.
changed the history of the real world? Well, I guess it's not impossible.
That isn't what you said yesterday.
That was then, this is now. A woman's mind changes with the phases of the moon, you know?
No, it doesn't.
Anyway, I believe in Date. I trust
Yeah.
him more than anyone else in Abyss.
Yeah, either. And about So.
Congressman Sajima is suspicious in more ways than one. Exhibit A. 3 days ago, So called Shoko Nadami's phone. We still don't know exactly why. He only told us it was meant to be private. Exhibit B. So Sajima was at Okiura Fishery Warehouse last night. But he didn't inform us of this. There must be something he doesn't want us knowing. Exhibit C. So was in Iris's Somnium. Dreams are constructed from memories. Yet the good congressman denies he ever knew Iris.
It's a very, yeah. But then again, maybe he's just envisioning in his Somnium what we've accused him of. It is his most recent memory. Well, fabrication. And if a dream is just a dream...
I sent him home yesterday.
You released him?
What was I supposed to do? We can't hold him without solid proof. What we saw with Iris hasn't happened yet.
In any case, we have to speak with him again.
About Renju, we still need to see Renju.
Mizuki went to Bloom Park 3 nights ago. She was prompted by a Nile message from Renju.
Mizuki, Daddy got caught up into something serious. He's going to Bloom Park's merry-go-round right away.
There are 3 possibilities. 1. Renju killed Shoko, or was an accessory to the murder. 2. Renju was threatened or blackmailed into luring Mizuki to the scene. 3. The culprit used Renju's phone to send the Nile message. In any case, the motive is still unknown. We need to talk to Renju.
Renju? Where did you go?
So far, we've only got one victim then.
You asked Mama at Marble for information regarding Renju Okiura, correct? It is possible she may have something for you by now.
Ask everyone about him.
We can talk to Iris's mom as well. She was Renju's classmate. Iba told me about her.
Ira, can you not tell everything to boss?
I have done some research. As the name suggests, the company is owned by the Okiuras, the same Okiuras we know. Renju's father created the company.
But yeah, he's not in control
Another
of it.
connection to Renju.
No, actually. Currently, Okiura Fishery has... The
Nothing to
company has
do.
been managed by office representatives for the past 17 years after Renju's father died. Renju holds no shares and is not involved in the management. In short, Renju did not inherit the company from his father, and it was instead given to other persons.
But it can't be a coincidence.
It certainly is suspicious. I would suggest searching the warehouse again. You may be able to discover why Iris was resurrected. It is absurd. Not possible. Dreams are figments of the imagination. An incident which took place entirely in your mind cannot have any bearing on the real world. That is preposterous.
Unless you're saying this isn't the real world.
Consider it. If you were to find money in your dream, does your bank account balance go up in reality? If you were to be attacked by aliens in your dream, does a swarm of UFOs invade Earth?
But at the warehouse,
You must have been hallucinating. Within Mizuki's Somnium, you saw Iris's frozen corpse. It is affecting your mental state. Last night, you were so fazed by it that you couldn't speak. If it bothers you to this degree, why not go talk to Iris?
Maybe this is the Iris room.
Her cell phone is on. I can trace her via GPS. She is currently somewhere in the Lemniscape building.
there are 4 people I should talk to. So Sajima, Iris and Hitomi Sagan, and Mama. And I need to check the warehouse one more time.
We have many avenues of investigation.
Let's get moving.
And I think that is where I'm going to leave it for today with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places to leave it today. Like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, comment. I already said that. Ring the bell for that stuff. For the people on YouTube, I'll see you some other time. Bye bye.